Hey guys, welcome to Acoustic Paradiso here on Andertons TV. My name is Pete.
My name is Mick, hello.
How are you doing? What are we looking at today then?
Washburns.
Washburns.
New Washburns.
Yeah, really
right.
nice, aren't they?
So let's go over the details. Two new series,
Yes.
One called Heritage, one called Woodline. And Heritage guitars are H and Woodline guitars are WL.
Yeah, Woodline.
So that's how you know. And the other easy way to tell is Heritage guitars have a pickguard. Woodline guitars have no pickguard.
Let me grab that one there for you. That's the Woodline. So we
Yeah.
got one Woodline here today, and we got three Heritage. So
and
that's
what Washburn says is, so they're very similar price points, very affordable price points. Heritage is about strumming, singer-songwriters aimed at that kind of market, and Woodline is aimed more overtly at finger pickers.
Yeah.
So says Washburn.
Yeah.
And in the ranges there are 4 body shapes: Dread, Folk, Grand Auditorium, Jumbo and Orchestra. So there are 5 body shapes in total, but not all body shapes are available in each
all over the
series.
range.
Yeah. There are more guitars in the Heritage line than there are in the Woodline.
Yes, and also the one that I played first here doesn't have any internal.
Yeah. Yeah, we can come on to that in a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So
guitars come with Fishman 3. I'm looking down because it's written on a board below the camera. Fishman 301T or 501T preamps. One is slightly more featured than the other, but we'll come on to that in a bit.
Yep.
So
that's very pretty guitar, that one, isn't it? Look at that! My goodness. And what is that wood? Because
you know what that is?
Tamo.
Something called Tamo Ash.
Tamo Ash.
We don't know what it is, but
it's very pretty.
It's a very figured ash. It's a laminate. All the guitars have laminate back and sides.
Yeah.
Solid Sitka spruce top.
Yeah.
And the numbers. So let's say we're dealing with a Heritage guitar such as this. Would be H.
H for Heritage.
D.
Dreadnought.
For Dreadnought. And then it is a 30, because 30 means Tamo Ash.
That's kind of the model, isn't it? The numbers. So you got 10, 20, 30 and 40, which we'll talk about in a minute.
So HD 30, S for solid top, CE for cutaway electro. HD 30 SCE. There we go. Sounds like a lot, but that's how you work it out.
But it makes sense, doesn't it, when you put it like that? This is the entry model. So again, laminate, mahogany.
Yep.
It looks great. Mahogany neck. I like this little logo here.
Check out the flame in that mahogany.
I know, it's great, isn't it? Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, all the guitars have a solid a mahogany neck, rosewood fingerboards, and it's got quite a nice satin finish.
Satin finish neck.
To the back of the neck there,
Yeah.
so it's not all sticky like cost-effective acoustic
And of course,
guitars.
as they are cost-effective, like we've spoken about in some other videos, they do the thing where they put the neck on here. What is that called exactly?
It's called a scarf joint.
Scarf joint. That's what I was looking for. And they do it on the heel as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you do when you get up into some more expensive guitars. You know, then you get the.
Yeah. Using
solids.
a single piece of wood for the whole.
It's too expensive.
It's ridiculous, and it's
exactly.
very wasteful. So,
and that's one of the reasons to use the laminate as well. But it is, I think, mainly the tone is in the top, which I've always thought. Sort of the top, how that vibrates.
Yeah.
I've heard stories about people making paper mache guitars back and sides with a spruce top with nice bracing, and it still sounds great, you know.
Yeah.
So
it
can't be done, but
let's say it's straight. You know, when Pete and I were kids back in the 1930s.
What?
Actually, if that was true, the guitars we were playing in the 1930s would have been great. We'd have loved them. The actions would have been about that high, but no. So in the late 70s and 80s. You couldn't buy a cost-effective acoustic guitar which had a solid... Well, for a start, you couldn't buy one that had a solid top. They didn't exist. The only solid top guitars that existed were expensive guitars, you know, Martins and so on, which were made in really small numbers, so they were hard to come by.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to buy a cost-effective guitar, you couldn't buy one because it was all laminate. It sounded like a piece of junk. They weren't very well made, and they were just... I swear that a lot of the reason that a lot of people of our generation don't play the acoustic guitar is because the guitars were so bad.
Exactly, but it had kind of a dip then, didn't it? The acoustic guitars had a dip, and then I think there was like the MTV Unplugged kind of brought the whole thing back in, and now it's huge, you know. And also they found ways of making good guitars.
Well,
you know?
yeah. Well, case in point. So you've got a solid Sitka spruce top. It's got scalloped bracing. Now Washburn call their version of scalloped bracing Cathedral Peaked.
Which I like Cathedral.
Don't quite know what it means, other than it is pretty well scalloped. I mean, if I just feel that main brace there, and it's yeah, I mean it's very well scalloped away. Which, when you're talking about these kind of prices, that means somebody actually doing that
has handcrafted that.
Yeah, you know, I've felt a scallop brace that's
you can feel
more
it.
Carefully scalloped and a nicer finish. But what do you expect at this kind of price?
Prices,
the fact that it's scalloped at all is pretty good.
Yeah.
The point being, a nice scallop brace top, decent piece of spruce. It's got a slight arch on it as well, which gives it some structural integrity. Means you end up with a pretty decent sounding guitar.
Exactly.
If you build it right, not too heavy. A lot of
cost
effective guitars are very, very overweighty,
and they get kind of neck heavy as well in that end. You know.
Yeah.
It feels really great. They got a great sound to them.
The finish doesn't look over thick, which is another issue on less expensive guitars. That can sap a lot of the sound out of the guitar.
It does, because the wood needs to move, and if it's too thick, then it can't move like that. Like this. And the range, you know, that you've got, which we come to in a minute, but that you've got OMs and you know, the dreadnoughts and jumbos and grand auditorium shapes, and you've got all of these like a huge range of models for there's something for everybody, basically.
So not every shape is available in every wood option.
No.
For example, flamed maple 40 is only available in the jumbo. So that's pretty.
But
pretty
we'll
standard.
put the links below so you can go in and see the whole model range and all of this different stuff.
Yeah.
But great guitars. We should have some. We should play. Shouldn't
let's
we?
listen.
Instead
Okay,
of talking so much always.
Oh, you talk too much.
Talk too much. Talk too much.
As I said, this is the 30. This is the HD30 SCE, which is a Tamo Ash, and it's a cutaway electro. That is the HD10.
No E.
HD10S.
HD10S.
Bang on.
Bang on. Well done.
See?
But you still had to check though. So
What pick are you using?
I am using a Dunlop nylon, and I'm going to jump over to the 1mm.
Got a spare one of those?
Because I like it. Yes, I have. You pick that out of my hand. What? So we've got these AKG 451 microphones, which sounds great. And as I don't have a what do you call it? Pickup in mine, we're gonna use those for this. So here we go. G chord, always a good chord. Yep, that was almost there.
What I love about semitone mistakes is that they can only ever be jazz, can't they?
Yes.
You have to just keep doing it.
Yeah. So, and if you do that, then I'll just do.
Yeah.
And then it's all good.
Do you remember that finger exercise, the spider?
It's the spider.
It's jazz. Anyway, okay, so those are those two guitars.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Open rings. The sustain in them is incredible.
It's good. I mean, I will just say, you know, compared to the acoustic guitar that I had when I was younger than I am now.
Well, my first was like an Oscar Teller that my mum bought in like '71, like a nylon string, and it's still somewhere. I think my sister's got it.
Yeah.
Amazing guitar, but I remember the not steel string guitars that I played back then. I mean,
yeah, no, they were
it was
unplayable.
just for not unplayable, but it's just like you know.
Yeah.
And this is incredible. Whoever starts out, it's also about when you start out and you want to buy a guitar, you need to when you pick it up, you need to want to play it. It needs to inspire you. If you buy something, you go, oh, I'm going to save 50 quid or 100 quid, and you go, I'll do it because I don't really know if I want to learn this or not. If you buy something and you go, oh, it's not really nice, then you're not going to play it. It's going to end up in the back of a cupboard somewhere within a month because you don't feel good when you pick it up. And it's very, very simple. Go, ask your parents or whoever it is for another £50 or 100 quid, or
the wife,
or your missus, whoever it is, because we literally unpack these out of the box now, and we haven't done anything to them,
actually,
apart tuned them up.
No, yeah,
and they feel really nice. They feel really nice. They're really easy to play. The action is not high at all. For a guitar this price range, how much are these? $229 starting price. I mean,
that's for anyone watching on Dave in 2058. That 229 price was March 2016.
Exactly. So that's incredibly good value for money, I must say.
Yeah.
I don't know where else to find that. Anyway, let's move on to the other guitars, shall we?
Have we played these enough?
We can play a bit more.
Play any more? I've just thought for those of you who need an excuse to buy another guitar, I've just thought of the perfect excuse. You go to the wife and you go, look, what I really need is an acoustic guitar because listen. Isn't that better than get your electric out?
It is actually.
Go and buy it now.
And if you do that and you look at her, you're like,
lest we be sexist about it, it may be your husband or girlfriend.
You might want to ask your husband, boyfriend,
your other half
/ partner.
Yeah.
And you might want to ask them about it.
Yeah.
Do the same thing.
Any combination of gender, orientation,
yeah,
and age, it's fine.
Exactly. Just do this. Maybe throw one of those in there. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay, here we are back by the miracle of Final Cut Pro.
Yep.
And we've moved on. So as I mentioned right at the top, Heritage line, Woodline line. This is the only Woodline guitar we've got today.
Yep.
And I'm going to work it out.
With your brain?
With my brain.
Yeah.
So what did we say at the beginning? We said WL for Woodline.
Woodline.
We said body shape for next. So this is an orchestra body shape. So WLO.
Yeah.
The series it's Rosewood, so it's 20, WLO 20.
Yeah.
S for solid top, CE for cutaway electro. WLO 20 SCE.
Perfect.
Sounds like a lot, but it's actually not that complicated.
Exactly. When you work it out in your brain,
yes.
It's actually not that complicated.
Yeah, it's a complicated place. Anyway, right, so as we said, no pick guard. Still has the Cathedral Peak scalloped bracing.
Yeah. Yes. And they're quite high, the bracings here, I've noticed. So.
Yeah, thin and tall.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do a bit of reading on bracing, you'll...
It's bracing, there's variety of bracing, and people tend to use... Well, it looks all... There is kind of a way of doing it, in the X bracing, and then what people kind of do...
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Martin invented the X brace back in the late 1800s or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So you've basically got a big one going there, a big one going there, and then some extra stuff.
Yeah, and that depends on who the manufacturer is.
Yeah, there's your in-depth guide to guitar bracing there. And so the point of scallop bracing, for anyone who doesn't get it, is the whole point about a guitar is it has to vibrate, right, in order to sound.
Top.
So if you put very heavy bits of wood all inside the guitar to make it structurally sound and stop this bridge pulling off, which is a different thing, but anyway, to stop the thing essentially collapsing on itself, it then becomes very stiff and it doesn't sound very good. So what they discovered was if you take weight away from the braces by essentially shaving bits away, which is what's referred to as scalloping, and I apologise for anyone who knows all this stuff already, but we'll go over it anyway. Yeah. It just helps the guitar vibrate more.
Exactly, the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they basically cut the middle out of the braces.
Yeah.
Which makes the difference.
Yeah. In the and then keeping it tall and thin still keeps good rigidity.
Yeah.
But also enables the guitar to vibrate. So
anyway,
the point being, doing that properly and doing the scalloping takes time and puts cost into the guitar because it's a human being that has to do it.
Yeah.
So to have it on guitars at this price range is
really good.
Yeah.
Good value,
I
must say. Somebody has to do it, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
With the hands.
Yeah. And even if you can do some of it by machine, someone's got to check it.
Yeah.
So
great. Anyway, let's hear these two. I've got the Jumbo.
Come on then, work out the model name.
Amazing. Oh my good lord.
There's a challenge.
So it's a I'm gonna have to look into it. So it's a Heritage. So it's the Heritage. It is a J, so an HJ 40 S C E. Yes.
Bang on.
You work it out and then you know what it is. But it's a great guitar with the maple. So 40s maple. And again, the mahogany neck. Then rosewood board. Rosewood bridge. This is one that's got the other Fishman system in. So the 5.1T with the tuner.
So the 5.1T's got a notch filter.
Phase, brilliant.
Actually, the other one's got a phase as well.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. Little tuner in there, great.
Yeah.
So, we'll get a close-up of these.
Yeah, basically more EQ and a notch filter.
Yeah.
Less EQ, no notch filter.
Got some gold tuners on there. Washburn has made guitars since 1883 something, isn't it? Which is a long time.
I think it's even before that, isn't it? Wasn't it 18?
No,
yeah, a long time anyway. One of the oldest American guitar manufacturers, if not the oldest American.
1883 says in the guitar.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Yeah, I did know that. Nice. I do know something, yeah. No, actually, so they've been around for...
Just making stuff up.
Yeah, no, actually, because... So, anyway, let's have a listen to the Jumbo, shall we?
Again, actually, I'll tell you what, before I play this...
Yes.
We'll just listen to the Jumbo next to the Dreadnought.
Okay.
Because that sort of seems like a...
With the cutaway as well.
A fairly sensible comparison.
Cutaways does make a bit of a difference, doesn't it? With the...
Yeah, do you know what? I've heard guitar makers say it makes all the difference and guitar makers say it makes no difference.
See, that's... Whatever you think is the right thing, isn't it, for you, basically. If you like the dusty area, personally, there's no money in this place up here. The money's all here. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Kids. Session people.
I don't know.
Who wants that on their record? You know what I mean? Oh, did I say record? The CD. The MP3.
CD?
The album. Anyway, go on. Let's play.
Shut up and play the guitar. The reason I distracted Pete there, sorry, I thought the guitars were peaking, but it's
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Over.
So this definitely sounds brighter, I think. Or is it just me? Again, you're pointing the other way. You can hear it from the front.
I think we let the good people of YouTube decide.
Yeah, you decide.
I think a bit deeper bass, definitely.
Yeah.
Maple definitely. I mean, even though it's a laminate, not solid timber,
Yeah.
it definitely imparts a different kind of mid character.
It does, definitely.
On a guitar. I think that's actually my favourite guitar of the day. That one.
It's a pretty guitar, isn't it?
So far.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
You know, for those of you out there that aspire to a similar looking guitar, this is an absolutely peach of a starter. It really is. It does look amazing and it feels lovely to play, and that's the most important thing, really, isn't it? That
cool.
you can get on with it.
Very satisfying to sit there and strum, definitely.
Again, great sustain.
Yeah, it's also important to say that they're absolutely box fresh, so the strings are like straight out of the box as well. So with a few hours playing on, you probably find that if you are perceiving any kind of zinginess, then that kind of can dull off as well. Everyone likes different things with strings. I like box fresh strings. Some people like strings that have been on there 2 months, but yeah. So
it's you know, that's where the picks comes in, as we talked about before. Strings and picks makes a big difference. What kind of strings on here? Do we know?
Clear tone.
Clear tone strings.
Oh, they've got proper strings on. Do they come with that?
Yeah.
They do come with that. Wow, they come with decent premium strings. That's unusual, because normally for more cost-effective guitars, they tend to come with pretty cheap strings. I tell you what, I think that's one of the reasons these guitars feel so good out of the box. They've got good strings on.
Yeah, but they're set up really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you take, you can. It doesn't feel bad. It just feels nice, easy to play.
You can tell that Pete and I might have a preconception or two about cost-effective guitars.
Yeah, but I think that's where we come from, because, you know, when we started out, as we mentioned earlier, that you kind of it's not, you know, we couldn't just go down and pick up a guitar, and it was so rare to get something affordable that was.
It wasn't. I mean, we're going to make this point again. It wasn't just that it was hard to find a good one. It was there were no good ones.
Yeah. Cost. Well.
You know, below £1,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
And £1,000 back when, you know, in 1952 was a lot of money.
You could buy a house for that back then. Anyway, let's hear your Woodline.
So the Woodline, for reasons we're not entirely sure, are targeted more at picking, even though the nut widths are the same.
Yeah.
Which is 43mm, which is kind of it's a good place for a nut width. If you want an all-rounder, 43mm is a good.
Yeah.
Is a good
11/16, isn't it? 11/16.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Narrower than that is getting into electric guitar territory. Wider than that is getting into serious finger picker guitar.
Yeah.
1 and
sort of
3/4.
headstocks and
Anyway.
all that. Beautiful.
It's nice. And equally, you could probably I'll
What?
just pick up a slightly thicker plectrum here if you wanted to give it the.
Man.
The smaller body gives it that kind of bit of mid push in there, so you can.
But nobody's, you know, it's not to say that you can't finger pick on any of these other guitars.
No.
You know, you can. That's up to you, basically, what you feel like.
Yeah, but I think the smaller body depth makes it not as satisfying for the big open strums like that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Win.
Yeah, it's a different thing, but equally. yeah,
have to practice that.
The country blues stuff.
Yeah,
a smaller body guitar
sounds great.
To me works
Nothing
better for those styles than the bigger bodies.
Nice.
But so
I like these little black tuners as well. They look good.
they're metal.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, metal.
Great. Yeah. So there we have it. Awesome.
Okay, are we there or thereabouts, Peter?
Yeah, I think we are there thereabouts. Yeah.
So, new Washburn Heritage and Woodline series. 5 different body styles in all, 4 different wood types in all, various options therein.
Across the board, starting from 229.
Yeah.
Roundabout. Check the website. Links below for details. Awesome. I think we should just have a little play where you've drilled out already with your finger picking style. I need to practice. Alright guys, that was the Washburn, the Heritage and the Woodline guitars. And go check the links below. I come into Andertons to try them out. And this was Acoustic Paradiso on Andertons TV. My name is Pete.
My name is Mick.
And we'll see you next time. Take care. Stuff, 12.
And of course, it's not just about the nut width; it's about string spacing. I play guitars with very wide nuts, and this doesn't feel uncomfortable to me at all.